We've got a few, actually, of pretty big SBC leaks for the full team of the year releasing here on Thursday. And unfortunately, just warning you now, Diego Maradona is not the Argentinian SBC that we saw leaked yesterday. Not that there was any real chance that was going to be the case, but we know now it's not. EA also released like a 15-minute video today talking about the gameplay changes and highlighting why they made the gameplay changes, which are some interesting things in there that I want to talk about too. We do know the team of the year 12th man now, and take a wild guess at who won it. Just take a wild guess right now. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. And we have a Future Stars card design leaked already, which, okay, let's get into it. Thank you all for joining, by the way. And Gareth Bale came out today. Obviously, we know that by now. If you guys have used him, if you guys completed him, used his loan or something like that in the cup, let me know how you liked him, because he looks insane. They gave him 5-star skills. I mean, the stats on this card are crazy. I mean, they are ridiculous. The playstyles is kind of the compromise on this card, because they thought to themselves, like, okay, crazy stats, but let's give him acrobat. Let's kind of keep him as is in terms of the playstyles. But I find it hard to believe this card wouldn't be insane right now. And I also thought it was kind of funny. I was reading his icon profile, because his dynamic is from literally the Liverpool game, right, where he scored the bicycle kick, which I do like that they gave him acrobat for literally, it feels like this is literally the Bale Liverpool game card. It kind of feels like that, right? But I like the last sentence. He later added a second with a long range strike. That's one way to put how that goal happened. Yeah, anyway, let me know if you liked him. It's kind of the point here. I don't know what I'm going to craft during my team of the year pack opening. I don't know if I'm going to go with Bale or if I'm going to go with KDB. I don't know what I'm going to craft. And also, this is a call out to anybody out there who has used this Andre Onana in team of the year blueprint. If you've used him in there, if there's anybody out there, please let me know if you've used him. I've been stalling over this goddamn Evo for like 3 days now. I don't know what the hell card to use, so I might go with Andre Onana. I don't know what to do with this one. So if you've used him, please let me know what you think about him. And okay, on to the leaks now. And the very first card that we've got leaked today from AC is one that looks actually pretty insane. We got an Abley Team of the Year Icon SBC on the way, and this is her official card with these stats here. And the playstyles immediately off rip are great. Tiki-taka and incisive pass is fantastic. The stats also are great. I mean, this is basically a better version of the Winter Wildcard Xavi, right? It's like a better version of that card. French icon links. It's hard to get much better than a card like this in your midfield, honestly. I would expect her to be pretty expensive, to be fair. But this was the latest card we got leaked, actually. The very first one leaked way earlier today was Victor Gyökeres. So we're kind of waiting to see when he would get some sort of Team of the Year card, and it looks like it's going to be in honorable mentions as an SBC or an objective, apparently, which I would assume this will be an SBC, honestly. And it would look something like this. No official stats on this card yet, but we still don't really have news on like an honorable mentions team in packs. We would assume that that will still be the case here, but there's no real word on that as of now. And obviously, as we find out, we'll keep you updated with that. But I really hope they just juice this card out, because he deserves it. It's a sporting card that's really hard to link. Swedish links aren't that great either. Like, just why not make him insane? If you price this card at like 750k and he has these links, could you imagine how good you could make his stats? I don't know. I just feel like they should really juice this card out. And then next up here is the Argentine SBC that was not Diego Maradona. It is Lautaro Martinez coming as an SBC. Honorable mentions as well, and it's a good card too. It'll look something like this, probably. Finesse shot plus, of course, on him. Stats are not confirmed. I was seeing, yeah, 86 pace in February. Like, that's not confirmed there. And also, I was seeing some replies. It wasn't just one. I was seeing like, hey, what happened to CR7, Neymar, Messi? Like, where's that giant flashback of those three we were kind of waiting to see, possibly? Well, obviously, one of them was in contention to win 12th man, and that is exactly what he did. He has won 12th man, and this is his official stats right here, and his official play styles. And I mean, he looks incredible, looks like a great card. Yeah, I mean, the jokes came in, you know, the gray hair Ronaldo memes. But listen, we all know he doesn't deserve the 12th man. However, we can just sit back and say, hey, you know what, this might be the last team of the year we ever see Cristiano Ronaldo in. Okay, let's just take it in, and don't think too deep about it. Okay, try not to think too deeply about it. But going back to that tweet from before, like Messi, CR7, Neymar, are we gonna see any of those guys? And obviously Ronaldo was 12th man, so there he is. is Messi was a nominee for the team of the year. We might see him as like the headline player in the team of the year honorable mentions team. And hold on, wait a minute. I take all this back. Lautaro looks like my ass. These are official stats on him, and his stats, to be fair, stats are okay. Like, they actually look pretty decent, but finesse shot and then relentless. Why? Just give him something better, maybe? I don't know. But I missed this one, so that's on me there. But what do you think about that card? Is that card actually underrated a bit if he's cheap, or is that not the best? I don't really know. Then with Neymar, I mean, obviously, no idea. But do we think we see one more giant SBC during team of the year? Will there be another one? We've seen Bale and KDB that are like, you know, multi-million coin SBCs, which I actually have a graphic to show you quickly. Seeing these kind of puts in perspective how much fodder you need to complete these SBCs. Gareth Bale, you need 80 88s. You need 80 of them. 20 89s and 10 90s, 6 above 86 team of the weeks. Just kind of thought that was an interesting little thing to show you guys there. But will we see another big giant SBC, or was this kind of all of them and then we see more kind of middling ones? My guess would be we would see one more. I think we'll see one more, like, you know, 1.5 mil plus SBC if I had to guess. But obviously that's a guess. We have no way of knowing that. Now back to whatever the hell this was, and that is a Future Stars design leaked already, and it was an Evolution Future Stars card design leaked. Then there was this tweet, which I don't know what this means, but Future Stars icon on the way, and Future Stars Wonder Kid icon as well. I don't know if he means that that's like confirmed as to what they're going to be called, or if that's just him saying shit. I don't know, but that's interesting because it'd be cool to see a Wonder Kid icon, as in, you know, there were Wonder Kids out there that didn't really pan out. It'd be cool to have them pan out, right? Now, I think they've strayed away from that a little bit because I think it's a little condescending, like, hey, this is what you could have been, but you didn't turn out that way. Sorry. But I think that's why we've never seen a Bojan or a Ravel Morrison, Adnan Januzaj, American Julian Green. Remember Julian Green? You know, I think that's why we've not seen that kind of promo, even though it'd be really fun for us, is because, like, hey, FC is so big now. If they see their promo card and see the reason why they got their promo card, it might be, you know, a little bit like condescending, I guess, but maybe that'll change here. Maybe Future Stars Wonder Kid icon could be a thing, or maybe I'm talking out of my ass. This won't even be a thing. Also, EA did drop a free 3K XP today, which is pretty awesome. Just play one game, get 3K XP if you've been behind in the season or something like that. It was a little hidden, so I wanted to show you guys this in case you missed it. And then we got this tweet here, and that was from EA Direct. It was a 13-minute long video clip of some of the gameplay producers, 2 of them actually, talking about why they made the gameplay changes, what was their thought process behind it. Text was in there as well to kind of talk about stuff. There wasn't actually a whole lot in here. Now, usually I throw in some clips and stuff like that to these sorts of videos, and I won't even really bother with that this time because I can briefly summarize kind of the only thing that we hadn't really heard about yet from EA was why they made this change. And the biggest reason why they said here was basically they wanted to make the game less AI driven. That was the whole main purpose of this patch, was to make the game less AI driven, and in turn makes it more attacking, I guess, in that way, which I did make some changes that were strictly just attacking based. But their main goal here was to get rid of the over dependence of the AI due to community feedback. Apparently that was what they said. And about the 9-minute mark here, he says that these changes are strictly for online competitive modes, and I think what they're trying to do is basically start differentiating the online and offline gameplay, which I think is just good for both. I don't think having the whole trying to have like a happy medium of both sides ends up working. I don't think so. I think you need to kind of cater to both in both ways, in offline and online gameplay. And the only other thing I've written down on my phone right here is that the interceptions and the tacklebacks, right? Apparently interceptions were not part of this patch. It was just tacklebacks. So interceptions that go back to the opponent were not changed at all. I think the other dev here, I don't know his name, Rory, said that that's what they're working on next, that they will try and fix, is the interceptions bouncing back to the opponent as well. This last patch was just the tackles themselves. So other than that, that's pretty much the only news here. Long story short, they want to make it less AI dependent, which I think is, I mean, it's a good thing, right? I think it's just a good thing. It's just very strange that this happens now. And I like trying to dive into why this stuff would happen when it does, what's their thought process behind doing these types of changes. And I know I asked this question yesterday too, but like, what do you think is the reason for these gameplay changes, and why did they happen right now? Why do they all of a sudden care about what we have to say, really, when they haven't in the past? I mean, I guess they kind of have when they listen to some of the feedback, but then like at the end of the day, they make the choices still. And turns out we make the choices and oops, we kind of made a shit game, and now you have to fix it. And funnily enough, like the things we want to change, they change, and the game is better. Turns turns out we do know a thing or two. Yes, we maybe, some of us have IQs of maybe in the 60s, which I believe is like orangutan IQ. But hey, it turns out we do kind of know what maybe makes a better game, at least a better game than what we had. Maybe we don't know what makes a perfect game at all, but maybe a better game than what we had. Also, you remember I said, I was like, oh yeah, Saliba's playstyles aren't actually that good. I don't think it matters, guys. Apparently, it does not fucking matter. At 9.2, the fact that this price can even exist. I know this was 6 hours ago, 3 hours after. Wait, what's he at now? Where is he? Oh, he's right here. 8.5. I mean, the fact that this card can even be this price for any amount of time at all shows you people have coins. People have coins to spend right now, and you will see some market inflation here because people are clearly spending money on this game right now, and maybe they are doing it. I guess they could be doing it now, or they just have had coins over the course of the year, but people clearly have coins to buy these cards, and the fact that a center back can be this expensive with one good playstyle plus is mind-blowing. That's a mind-blowing price. And I do want to report on some free FC points apparently getting sent out to some people. Some were getting 1,050, some were getting 1,650, some were getting like 500 for free. There was no real rhyme or reason, at least that we know of. They were literally just popping up on people's accounts, and there was no message as to why they were even getting it. So this guy got 1,600 FC points there, and there was a time in December where people were getting randomly some FC points then too. I don't really know what is going on here. 500 there, 1,050 here. I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows, other than the fact that we know that it's PS, I think, only that are getting FC points. So just wanted to report on that quickly. But okay, the market right now. We talked about the buy time yesterday. Now there's one of two things that can happen here. And this might sound idiotic, but the market's either going to go down or it's going to go up, guys. I know that's mind-blowing news, but what I mean by that is I can't believe how expensive these cards are. 3.8 mil, 2.4 mil for Carvajal, 2.4 for this card. Romaldo, 2.1. We have one of two outcomes here. One outcome is these cards are insanely inflated because they're extremely rare right now, and they're going to drop the more they get packed, which means that these cards might actually reach their lowest point a few days into Team of the Year rather than like the first couple of hours like we talked about yesterday. Or it's easier to get coins this year and the market's cheap, so people have been waiting and holding on to all these coins for so long, and people open packs for Team of the Year as a giant coin injection, and the market actually stays like what it is now or even goes higher. So if that's the outcome, then it probably is going to be, yes, an hour or two after Team of the Year comes out will be the buy time, because you will see them slightly drop and then they're going to go flying up because we're going to have such a coin injection. That's kind of what I have to say, I guess. I don't really think I'm even going to wait to try and buy a Team of the Year if I want one. I don't think I'm going to wait until like in the middle of this next week when the full Team of the Year has been out for a couple days. I don't even think I want to do that. I think I might literally buy within the first couple hours of the very first one, or very first day, sorry, that they all come out, because last year that was the best time, and I think we have more coins this year. So the only way that doesn't work out is if the pack weight's like way better than we expect, which could happen. I'm not going to count on that though. Virgil van Dijk's extinct to 15 mil, by the way. 15 million coins for a center back. I mean, at what point is that just not even worth it? 15 million coins for center back? Is Cole Van Dijk 1,000 times worse? When you put it that way, it's kind of insane. But okay, let's read your comments now. And I do want to say that I still am going to read every single comment from this last video on my second channel. That'll be coming up later today, I believe. But I thought, hey, why not read this one comment on today's video, because then we have something to talk about. And I want to kind of jump into a more nuanced part and point I was making here in this comment, and I think that this is an interesting discussion to have. So Jonathan C left this comment. He says, not everyone has Zidane. A huge portion of the current player base got screwed by EA because we got the game after November. So we got Zidane, but not the Evo. Since content creators got the game at launch, they are ignorant to this fact and keep regurgitating the lie that everyone got Zidane. I replied and said, I guess in that case, would you say that the reward then for these players who've had the game since launch is too good? I think that's an interesting argument, but I don't think it's necessarily people got screwed when anyone could have bought the game before November, and I think rewarding loyalty is cool. A fine line though. And I think that is yeah, to me, I think that if you're in EA shoes here and you want to reward your loyalist customers, which loyalist, most loyal customers, right? If you want to reward those people, how do you do that? I think honestly, this is one of the better ways they could do that, to be honest with you, because even if you did not buy the game before November, you still got Zidane. You got him, just not the Evo that makes him better. Because yeah, if EA dropped a fucking 99 team of the year Mbappe as a loyalty reward if you played the game before November, like that I understand could be annoying and could be unfair, but like, is this Zidane to that point where it's like people are getting screwed if you didn't play the game before November? Like, I don't think so. I guess my question would be like, how do you think they should reward those people, or should they not at all? I mean, I guess, what do you think? That's sort of my next question. And Jonathan does reply down here saying like, I don't think it's too good. I actually think it was great. I won't read this whole comment, but he said it seems spiteful by EA because they want to create FOMO for next year. And that I think is a totally different argument, and that's a fine argument to have to me. If you think this is sort of a facade to create FOMO and that's kind of it, and not actually to just be nice, which it probably honestly is, but that's not really what we were talking about up here. Like the player base getting screwed because you didn't buy the game before November, right? Like that's a different argument there. I don't think personally that's the problem of like they gave people as a Dan if you played the game since launch. I don't think that's the problem. I think more players getting better cards is a good thing. That's just my take on it. There's always a fine line somewhere in there where it'd be too insane, but I don't think that that's what this Zidane card is. But I don't know. I just find I have a hard time believing that this is something to really complain about personally. Like players getting a Zidane, some players getting a little bit of a better version because they played the game longer, but everyone still gets a Zidane. I just think there's much more pertinent things to be upset about. And I'm not even saying that you, Jonathan, think that this is the most upsetting thing in the world. I'm just saying that like, let's focus on other things to me than, hey, we got to freeze Zidane, but like here's why it's bad. Like I think that we could do other things than that. But of course, hey, let me know what you guys think, and thank you all for listening and being here. Appreciate every single one of you for watching. Love you all. Things over zone. Peace.